Hey gang, Rob McKinnis. I want to thank you again for tuning in to this RBS Sales Minute. Today I want to talk about how to tap into the full sales potential of your organization. Oftentimes when we engage with companies, first thing we inquire about is the current performance of the team. How are they performing right now? And the number one thing that pops out when we talk about the current performance is complacency. There are a significant amount of teams out here that are just complacent. Now, the way we define complacency is the artificial sense of satisfaction. It's not that the teams are not working hard, it's just that they have an artificial sense of satisfaction. So today I want to talk about how to address that and again, tapping into the full potential of your sales team. So there are three things I want to share with you that can help you with that as a sales leader trying to get the most out of your team. Number one, stop managing to company targets. The common trap that a lot of sales leaders fall into is they manage to a target that the company has imposed on them. And I get it. I know exactly how it can happen. You get a very big number and you distribute that big number out evenly to all of the salespeople on your team. It's a common practice. However, today I'm going to encourage you to stop it, okay? Here's why. When you manage to a company target, you actually are putting a cap on the potential of that team. Here's what happens. People perform to the target that was imposed on them, they hit it, and then they relax. They take the foot off the gas and they become complacent, that artificial sense of satisfaction. So that's the first thing. Stop managing to a company target. Number two, let's define and understand the true intrinsic goals of each member of your team. Now, here's what I mean by that. Instead of giving them an imposed target and say, hey, here's what your number is, you got to hit it. Try this. Find out what they want to accomplish and why it's important. I hear a lot of people talking about the why of the organization. That's important. You want to know what it is that they're trying to accomplish and why it's important. As we've talked about before in previous RBS Sales Minutes, when you talk to a sales rep about things that they want to accomplish, a goal that they want to achieve, it usually boils down to three things: money, career progression, work-life balance. Those are usually the three pillars that it boils down to. And so you want to find out which one is most important to them and why. If it's money, how much? What is the money going to be used for? How is it going to benefit them or their family? If it's career progression, where do you want to be? By when? If it's work-life balance, what type of standard of living are you trying to achieve in terms of being able to support your lifestyle or your family's lifestyle? So we got to really define that. Now, you're going to run into a couple of issues. Well, actually, one main issue that you're going to run into is some people will not share that information. In other words, there are some folks in your organization that are not willingly able or not necessarily trusting you or the sales manager beneath you. They don't trust them with that information. So we want to talk through that a little bit. Here's what you need to understand. When a person doesn't want to share a goal with you, what they're really saying is they don't trust you. The fastest way to facilitate trust with a sales rep is you meet their business need and you meet their emotional need. We have to understand where's the emotional dynamic of this person, and let's adjust our communication style accordingly. More on how to do that a little bit later in this video. The second thing is, if all else fails, if you've tried the emotional connection and the business connection, let's try this exercise. If you know what the average bonus payout is for your particular team, the historical average bonus payout, talk to them about if our company gave you a check for the average bonus of the team. In other words, they just gave it to you. What would you do with it? You wouldn't give it back. What would you do with it? If the average bonus was $10K and the company wrote out a check to you for $10K, what would you do with it? Now, when you run this exercise, after you ask that question, sit back and listen, because what comes out of their mouths next is their goal, is their intrinsic goal, something that they're after, okay? So be patient and allow the process to run its course so that you can get the valuable information that you need. So that's number two. Find out the true intrinsic goal of that sales rep and really define it so you know exactly what they're trying to accomplish. Number 3, take all of the goals of the sales reps beneath you on your team. Take all of them and roll them up so that their goals become yours. In other words, instead of taking that big number that was imposed upon you from corporate, gather all the frontline goals of your sales team, roll them up, and see what that looks like. You're going to find 9 times out of 10, the things that they want to achieve is going to far exceed that company target. Now it's a matter of execution. Let's manage and coach everyone to achieving the individual goals that they shared with you. When you have that information, you now have buy-in. In other words, they're bought into achieving their own goals. You may not have buy-in on a company-imposed goals. That's where your coaching and management becomes a little difficult. When you don't have that buy-in and you got people operating out of obedience and they hit that particular goal and get complacent or relaxed, that's a challenge as a sales leader. However, if you can find out what's important to them, get them operating towards that goal that's important to them, roll it all up so that their goals become yours. Now it's a matter of execution. Now they're operating out of commitment. So if they're committed to it, they'll actually do what they have to do to achieve the desired result. So in summary, the 3 things I'm going to encourage you to focus on when it comes to tapping the full potential of your sales team. Number 1, stop managing the targets. Stop managing to the company targets. Number 2, find the intrinsic goal of each of your associates. And then number 3, let's make sure that you roll up all of their intrinsic goals so that their goals become yours. And now it's just a matter of coaching and managing them to execute. Okay, so if you want some help to really identify the intrinsic goal of your people, a process that can help you with that, go to our website, researchbasedsolutions.com. We have a great diagnostic tool that's free. Take a look at the tool, encourage your team to take the assessment, and you'll find that we'll be able to give you a lot of good intel that you don't necessarily have to try to figure out. We'll have it for you right then and there. And this will help you unlock the full potential of your sales organization. Thanks again for watching. Rob McInnes, Partner, Director of Sales, Research-Based Solutions. We'll see you next time.